This is the most stable. I am Aragon. But I am also Gollum. I've been watching, obviously, I have been watching The Lord of the Rings. And this is not something that I have seen before. So, it's very refreshing to see that movies can be like this. I think I was around 7 or 8 when these movies came out, but I never saw it in the theaters. I'm not sure for what reason. It could be money. It could be money, or maybe people are just busy to take me in, or not interested, or I don't really know why. But I remember seeing one Star Wars movie as a kid, and I forgot which one. But now I have seen as an adult the two Lord of the Rings movies. And there's a huge percentage of me that is grateful that it is only now that I have seen this. Because I think, well, I'm not really sure. I definitely missed out on the experience of being a child, seeing something magical or enchanted like that. The adventures, the characters, it for sure made an impact on my personality as a kid. Because now, it did, even when I'm an adult, it also still made a huge impact on me. And I was thinking, I want to be Aragorn. if something around here is staging Lord of the Rings of some sort, I would want to audition as Aragorn. Because that's very, also the way he was introduced in the scene. Something dark in the corner. You're not really sure if you're gonna be murdered with this encounter of a person, but it ended up that he means well. So this is something I feel like that I could give justice to. I would need some battle training though. I would need some battle training, because that is something that's not very strong in me yet. Of course, there's always a yet, because I believe that everything can be learned no matter what the age. I don't really believe that saying that it's harder to learn things when you're an adult. I don't believe this. Do you believe this? Because I personally don't. It's faster. Maybe it's true. It depends on the human being again, in the situation, in the life. But for me, at least, I don't believe this, because for me it's false. I have seen how my mind behaves, and for me at least, it's false. And also, I think Gollum's character, Smeagol. He's Smeagol. I'm not yet on the part where I find who named him Gollum, or maybe it was already told, I just missed it. But there is this part where it was revealed that he is actually Smeagol and not Gollum. So I would also like to call him Smeagol. I understood better the character as an adult viewing it because of the experiences already in the life that has happened. Maybe there is more. I know how this feels, sort of feeling. Especially that scene. I think I wouldn't have. Well, I think I'm greatly underestimating my kid self. I'm sorry, my kid self, if you're seeing this. I would have connected with it also maybe when I am a kid, but in a different way than now. Especially that scene where he got separated with Frodo and Sam, and he caught this fish, and he was just being like, oh, I found food and I must, and without knowing that there are arrows pointed at him, he was just being this jolly little creature who found joy in the form of the fish. And then Frodo comes down and retrieve him, and he was this like, he doesn't know if he should trust the Frodo or not. But then he ended up trusting the Frodo, and then his head got sacked or something. And then I know the pain of that. Especially after he already have told the dark side of him to go away, because now Master takes care of us. Master is our friend, sort of. And the dark side finally goes away, and then he's the jolly little Smeagol again. And then that happened. I'm like, So yeah, that's one of the scenes that's really, I just watched it last night, so I can still feel it. The first one, I cannot recall it anymore as much, but this particular scene, it's still very fresh because I just saw the movie last night. I really feel sad for Smeagol. And that's another thing, the Smeagol name. The name and the people who... It raised one question in my head, this scene, how Smeagol was treated. Because there is so much unnecessary violence that he received. I'm like, why is it that humans feel like it doesn't count as violence when they do it to the other humans that are smaller and more strange than they are? there is this question. Well, maybe in that particular scene, they don't see, they're not equal, because the one who did the violence was what's it called? The entourage of the prince. But also, if I transfer it to the real world, that is very common, that the other humans who seem like, or in the authority, or powerful, it's as if they don't see it as violence or cruelty if it's done to the smaller in many different perspectives and stranger humans than they are. It's as if, do you also notice this? There are things that my intellect can understand through the things that I have read and seen and experienced. There are things that my intellect can understand, but my conscience can never. There are things that my intellect can understand, but my conscience will eternally be ashamed of, because I am part of the same species. I also have this percentage in me. I'm having goosebumps on my legs. I also have this percentage of me. Maybe it's just not dominant in my character. I also have this percentage in me to do that. Also, the cruelty, the violence. I guess I just got lucky with how I was raised, or who my parents are, or what kind of things my ancestors did that led me to being a product of this. I wish I have a scientist friend that can help me articulate this better. But yeah, you know how it's always random with the humans. You'll never know what kind of human, based on his genetic coding or something, will pop out. And I'm just glad that this is not very dominant in the character of me, despite the circumstances. Because you see how, especially the Smeagol, like, master is a friend. No, like that. He's always have this inner friction within himself. Like, always, master looks after us. No, he betrayed you, or something like this. Anyway, that's all the time I have for now. I have to go get some resources. See you.